Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the video. In this video, I'll be sharing basically an easy to use Python utility class for accessing incremental data from your Hudi data lakes. So I have essentially made an amazing template for you that you guys can use out of the box, and it makes your life a little easy. So let me go over a little bit of the work that I have done. So again, if you find any, if you find any enhancement or flaws, please feel free to fork the repository and submit the merge request. Again, I'll cover a little bit theory and a short demo. So one of the key features of Hudi is it supports incremental data processing. This means that Hudi can efficiently process only the change that have occurred since the last time the data was processed, rather than processing the entire data set every time. This results in significant performance improvement and reduced processing time. So what we are basically saying is, let's say I inserted record 1 and 2. And let's say I want to do incremental data processing. I want to basically, maybe I want to basically power my downstream system. It can be a search application, which is Elasticsearch, can be a relational or a non-relational databases, right? So we want to incrementally query our data lake, and essentially maybe you want to load those stuff in, right? So this template makes a life a little easy. So again, I'll show you a demo first, and then I can go over the logic. So basically over here, so the template is fairly straightforward to use. Again, I have written some Python classes, which makes it easy for you. So the template, all you need is an AWS access key and a secret key, a region and a bucket. Now, what the template does is basically you can create a class called Hudi incremental reader, provide in the bucket name, provide in the settings, which is your table name and the path, and then provide in the Spark session. And then all you gotta do is call .read method, okay? So now let me show you this in action. So I'm gonna insert record 1 and 2 on my Hudi data lake, right? So basically this means I'm inserting some data, and then I'm gonna run my template, which I have over here. So what I should see in the output, it's gonna return you a Spark data frame. It's gonna return you record number 1 and 2. And that's what the anticipation is. So as you can see, that's done. Now, I'm gonna run this, okay? So let's see. So it's gonna, so for the first time, it's gonna get all the unique commits, and it's gonna get the first beginning commit, and then it's gonna query the data lake and gonna, give you a Spark data frame. So here you can see we have record 1 and 2. So what it also does is basically it creates a metadata file on S3. So if you basically take a look at this metadata, which I'm about to show you. Where is this? Okay, query with S3, run this. So if you observe, it stores the, the last commit, the table name, and some certain metadata, right? So which means next time if I run this Python file and if there is no incremental data, I would get again a Spark data frame with no data, right? Because I have already processed that, right? So now it's gonna read that metadata from S3, and again it's gonna query your Hudi transactional data lake, and again, as you can see, we don't have any data here, right? Which is great, right? So it's basically maintaining the metadata, right? So next time if you run, it's gonna fetch the commit, and then it's gonna perform your incremental queries. So now, which means if I insert record number 3 over here, so now if I insert record 3 and if I run, what's gonna happen is I should only see record number 3, and the metadata on S3 will be updated by the template. So basically the Python template takes care of all that logic that you would usually write. I wrote that logic, right? So as you can see, the record 3 has been written. Now, if I open up my metadata, right, this should be updated, right? So now if I query my Python, if I run my Python template again, I should see record number 3 now. So it's gonna fetch the file from S3. So it knows from where it has to start, right? Because we already processed record number 1 and 2, right? So remember, it is fetching that commit, right? And now it's gonna prepare your incremental query, and look at that, just the record number 3, right? If I run it again, which means it's gonna fetch the metadata from S3 again, and at this point I should not have any data because there is no incremental data, or there's no data in the data lake, right? So I should see no data here. As you can see, a Spark empty frame. This is an amazing template. The code logic and all of that has been taken care in the template. So hopefully you guys, all you gotta do is provide your access key, secret key, bucket name, your Hudi table name, and your path, and everything works behind the scenes flawlessly. Please, you can come to my GitHub repository, and if you believe I've done a good job, and again, I have done this within an 2-3 hour coding part, right? And here is the code logic. If you have ways to improve it, please make sure to fork the repository and create a merge request so that we can make this available to the community, right? And if you observe, I've also given all the steps here, right? So I ran the template, then I show you the metadata. All this is given on the GitHub section, okay? Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have enjoyed the video, and I hope this template will help you if you want to power your downstream system from your Hudi transactional data lake. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.